You wake up, drive to fill your tank, and realize the price of petrol has jumped again overnight without any warning. Or consider the snack aisle. The price of your favorite childhood chips is exactly the same as it was 10 years ago, but you tear open the packet to find it is mostly air. Look at a 100-rupee note. The ink hasn't faded, and the printed number is exactly what it's always been. Yet its ability to actually acquire goods has quietly eroded. This is the core paradox of inflation. Behind the rising price tags on shelves lies a quieter, mathematical decline in the actual strength of your currency. We tend to think of banks as static lockers, holding our savings securely. In reality, they are active engines. When you deposit money, the bank keeps a fraction in reserve and pumps the rest right back into the economy as loans. This process, known as credit creation, multiplies the amount of cash circulating in the system. Suddenly, a lot more money appears in consumer bank accounts, generating a highly convincing illusion of newfound wealth. With easier access to credit, people start spending. They buy new clothes, upgrade cars, and expand businesses, causing demand to skyrocket across every sector. But there is a hard physical limit to this spending spree: scarcity. The planet only has so many resources. Factories can only assemble a certain number of cars, and farmers can only grow so much wheat in a single season. Injecting more cash into the system does not magically manufacture more physical resources. It simply creates a larger crowd of buyers, all aggressively bidding against each other for the exact same amount of goods. This visual equation shows demand-pull inflation. Suppose last year a 100-rupee note perfectly covered these 5 grocery items. Today, easier credit means more people want those same items, so demand outpaces supply. The grocer raises the price to 120 rupees, and your note falls short. Then there is the second trigger: cost-push inflation. This happens on the supply side, before a product ever reaches the shelf. If crude oil prices jump, the cost to transport groceries spikes. If raw materials get expensive, factories spend more to operate. To survive, producers pass these extra operating costs directly down to the final consumer. This mechanism acts like an invisible pickpocket, draining the underlying utility of your cash without ever needing to touch the physical notes in your wallet. A predictable, steady rise in prices creates a cycle of activity. Knowing that costs will be slightly higher next year encourages consumers to buy now and businesses to invest in growth today. This modest, managed erosion of value serves as a signal that the economy is moving forward. But if prices spiral upward too quickly, that rapid dilution of value wipes out savings and can trigger a total collapse of the economic system. To keep the machine from breaking down, you need a driver capable of controlling the speed. In India, that central authority is the Reserve Bank of India. This flowchart illustrates how the RBI cools down the economy using a highly effective lever called the repo rate. This is the baseline interest rate at which commercial banks borrow money. When inflation gets too high, the RBI raises this rate. Immediately, home loans, car loans, and business loans become much more expensive. Consumers pull back on borrowing, spending drops, and this reduced demand forces prices to stabilize. The paper notes in your wallet have no inherent worth. Their value is entirely dependent on our collective trust that this delicate balancing act between credit, supply, and demand will hold steady. Participating in the modern economy means accepting that your purchasing power is not a fixed guarantee. It is constantly being negotiated by systemic forces far larger than the numbers printed on your cash.